Hey guys, what's going on? BMcG here, and today we're here to talk about my Ascended Star-Lord. So I recently ranked this dude up and ascended him just for fun. I'm at the point to where I can do that with 6 stars, and I figured it would be really cool to revisit this guy in 2024 because way back when he used to be one of the best champions in the game. But before we get too far into the video, if at any point you do enjoy this content and you're not subscribed, consider doing so because it helps grow the channel, and I really like interacting with this community that I'm building on this channel, and I'd like for you to be a part of it. So yeah, let's get right into the showcase. So we're going to start against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, the original punching bag of the contest. It's very fitting for Star-Lord to be, punching on this dude because, Winter Soldier has been the punching bag for years now. And, it almost is like, feels kind of like I'm reminiscing on the old days seeing, Star-Lord here against Winter Soldier. But this is just Star-Lord with no boosts, no recoil, no synergies, just against 545,000 health. And I just wanted to see how this guy does. As you guys can tell, the utility there is like non-existent outside of the special 2, but it's all random, so you can't really rely on it. We'll get into how to fix that later. But like the first special 2 was the armor break, the second one was the armor break, which is really good because it's extra damage. But like if we needed the power drain, you can't choose to get the power drain without having a synergy. So I don't know, it's rough. But he still does have the damage to compete with the rest of the game, which is really cool. Star-Lord has aged very well in the damage department, and that was 50 something hits. That's only like 12.5% of his maximum ramp, which is really cool. But we took a stroll over to the content creator beta, and we are going against the 9 million health Captain America, and I just wanted to show you guys how high his damage can actually scale. And the funny thing, I don't want to spoil it yet, but it gets really high. So we are at 100 hits in our combo meter now, and we are doing some really respectable damage in my opinion. And the awesome thing about Star-Lord is that you will not lose this damage. This ramp is permanent as long as you have your combo. So if you get hit, yeah, you will lose your damage, but there is the Aegon synergy, which we have throughout the rest of this video, that gives us a combo shield if we get hit. And then we also have the Mantis synergy, which is that icon underneath our health bar. So if we double tap block, it'll allow us to change what effect our special 2 gun does. But we are just shy of 300 hits now. And you guys can see Captain America has 15% health. So the highest ranked Star-Lord that is available in game. So like there's no 7-star Star-Lord right now. 6-star rank 5 ascended Sig 200 Star-Lord cannot max ramp against 9 million health. And this was a 5-minute fight. So the really cool thing is that Star-Lord still has no health pool. Like the highest ranked Star-Lord still has no health pool to where he can fully ramp up. If we use like a 3-star, yeah, we could have, but that's no fun. But next up, we are getting into some story content. So I wanted to see how Star-Lord works in story content and see if he's actually useful. And the really cool thing about story content nowadays is that the nodes essentially buff attackers, so it allows so many more attackers to be viable and useful. And Star-Lord shines because of this. So this is a weapon node, so we will disarm the weapon by using a heavy attack. So we drop a heavy attack after the special 1 there, and we disarm the node. Now we can drop a heavy attack, and it's going to deal some really strong damage. I wanted to get the heal block, element gun active, so now we have the heal block. If he ever, got those regen passives, we would have been stopping those with that heal block debuff. But as you can see there, Star-Lord scales very well with nodes because, we have 37 hits in our combo meter, which isn't a lot, but our basic attacks are already hitting very hard. And then pair that with the weapon node giving us 600% more damage on our heavy attacks. It's just an all-around good time for damage. And that's the cool thing about Star-Lord for questing, is that he works very well with a lot of these open-ended weapon nodes. Like if you can make him work, you can get him going, and like he's got the non-damaging debuffs for some of the other weapon nodes. He also has the damaging effects for some of these weapon nodes. So he's very flexible in terms of how to work with these weapon nodes. And you guys are going to see against this Hulk, we are going to start dealing some really solid damage. We're going to drop a special 2 here, and then I believe we get 1 heavy attack in. Yeah, we punish that, and it's like a 95,000 health attack, or heavy attack there, which is really solid and respectable when it doesn't crit. Granted, we have the weapon node boosting us, or the unarmed benefit boosting us, but yeah, it shows how well the quest design has become, because you no longer really need champions to do things. You just need to be able to be like good at the game, I guess, and know how to take advantage of certain node sets. And that allows a lot of champions to shine, especially like Star-Lord, because he's actually still pretty quick in comparison to a lot of other champions. I'm not gonna say he's like the speediest champion in the game, because he's not, but he's not mid. He's far from mid in terms of damage, and his damage is very respectable. Next up, we've got the Sauron, same node set here. And for those who might be curious, the way I structure my showcases, I tend to do 3 different quests in the latest act, which is Act 8. And then I try to do the first 3 fights on each lane that I do. That is a total of 9 fights, and I think it's a realistic showcase of how well this champion can do. I generally don't heal up between fights, and the intent behind that is to try to show you guys, can this champion take the whole path by themselves if you want them to? And the cool thing is that Star-Lord passed the test for every single one of these, and it's really cool because I don't think there are many fights to where you can't use Star-Lord for questing content, because he doesn't really do much, which is just funny to say. Like, he's so useful because he doesn't do a lot of things that are normally useful. This weapon node is a lot of fun. So this one, you will disarm it by stunning the opponent, and you will deal more damage. I think it's 800% more damage when they are inflicted with a damaging effect. So what we're doing here is doing different combos. It's a light, medium, so we don't give Beast the buffs. When he has buffs active, then he will be inflicting us with passive disorients when the weapon's active, but the weapon is no longer active, so we drop the special 2 here, and that's some really solid damage. Granted, it's amplified by the node, but that's what I'm trying to say, is like, Star-Lord works well for these quests. He's a great option for these just because of how easy he is to use. He doesn't have a set rotation. It's just get to the special 2 somehow, double tap block a couple times with the Mantis synergy, and you're good to go. Next up, we've got Mr. Fantastic here, and it's going to be the same game plan here, but we are going to wait out 1 weapon cycle. So right now the weapon is on cooldown, or they're unarmed. We are going to wait 1 cycle for it to completely come back and essentially rearm. That way we get the full duration of the weapon being unarmed to have the benefit of the shock. So you guys are going to see, once that red icon underneath Mr. Fantastic's health pool falls off, we will try to do a parry to stun Mr. Fantastic. Right here we do a medium, and then he dashes at us, we get the parry, and now we are going to drop the special 2, and that is still very respectable damage. Mr. Fantastic, I believe, has energy resistance, and that's why the shock was dealing smaller damage than it was against Beast. That's the easiest way I can say it. Beast, it was like 9,000 damage per tick. This one was 6,000. Class advantage is also a huge difference there, but still 58 seconds for Mr. Fantastic, and he's generally a really annoying defender due to his evade. I think that was fine. Next up, we've got Sauron, and this one's going to be really fun because we deal a lot of damage, and we deal a lot of damage quick. So right there, that's a great showcase of the Aegon synergy. We get hit, and the combo shield pops up. It allows us to keep our combo, and here we're going to go in for a backdraft intercept, drop that special 2, and boom, 244,000 damage, really solid. And then those 2 basic attacks were really sweet, just all around great damage. And then we have 1 more quest, so 3 more fights in this video, and I think this is a good showcase again as to the quest design being open-ended, like I have said. So this node set, it's Chitinous Thorns. enhanced parry armor up, ionized armor, and be like water. So I believe tech attackers will gain an armor up, or I think all attackers gain an armor up if you parry, but only the tech attackers get the tech fortification, so I become immune to a bunch of stuff, and that is allowing me to take this fight with the chitinous thorns. But we also have the armor break to get rid of the armor up, but we don't really want to get rid of it because when they have the armor up, we are immune to these debuffs that he's trying to place on us, these bleed effects, and it's giving us these fury passives which really juice up our damage. So if I was smart, I would have gone with the shock element gun here. Double tap block a couple times to get the shock, but that was still really solid. And again, it's a great showcase of how these quests are designed. Generally, you can use champions who start the fight with an armor up, but you don't really have to worry about that here because we can just parry, get an armor up, and now we have all the benefits from the node, and that allows us to take full advantage of the attack increase and the the immunities from this tech fortification that we have here. So next up we've got iHulk, and this dude is going to be somewhat annoying. I decided to apply the white Magneto pre-fight. That way it gives us passive stuns, so there's not going to be much be like water, which is the node where they go unblockable when inflicted with a non-damaging debuff. You guys will see that sometimes we trigger a disorient. That is from the Night Thrasher synergy. I forgot it was actually on the team. So it is what it is. But we are dealing some really strong damage here. And we are going to send him Immortal very soon here. I thought I was going to be able to get a parry there, but we get clipped. And we drop the special 2 here, and boom, he's Immortal. Now we don't have to really worry too much. But there is one thing I do want to point out that we make a mistake on. So once the immortality goes away, while he is regenerating, he goes, I can't remember the proper term for it. I think it's invulnerable. Essentially, you can't hit him. And Nick Fury has this when he enters his second life as well, but iHulk's, his is more prominent. So it's something just to be on the lookout for if you ever have to fight an iHulk. But lastly, we have Omega Red here. And now we drop the parry. Now he's unblockable, but now we can just dance with him. We just gotta get some intercepts, and as we are immune to these effects that he's trying to place on us, the chitinous thorns, bleeds, we're gaining these fury passives, so that's going to allow us to just deal some really solid damage. We get a nice parry in there to get the armor up back, and that was some decent damage. We've got 30 hits in our combo, so we know what that's going to do to our damage. It's going to give us some really solid boost to our numbers, and we get some nice intercepts here. Drop the special 1. I thought it would crit. If it did crit, we would have had some really solid damage. I think that would have finished out the fight. I think I am at the point where I'm becoming self-aware to the fact that I'm saying solid damage too much, so if you guys caught on to that, I apologize. But yeah, Star-Lord in 2024, I still think he's a solid champion. I do think he would benefit from having the Mantis synergy placed into his base kit. I don't think it would be too overpowered to throw that in there. It would at least give him some choice in what utility he uses, and the utility isn't that great itself. It's decent, but it's not going to be game breaking or game changing. It's not readily available enough. It's off the special 2, so you have to build the special 2 every time. I think that's a safe way to buff him. If they add too much more, you're likely going to have to cut back the damage, so I don't know. I think he's fine. I think he's fun, but I will see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.